Welcome to Mitchell Elementary Intro and Conclusion for our unit on erosion. This year's ELF has been about earth and sky. We've been learning about the physical stuff that makes up the earth all around us. Remember our first unit we studied finding our way, and we also learned about rocks and minerals in our second unit. We learned that minerals are like the ingredients that make up rocks, and we got to see and touch some really cool rocks. Today we're going to talk about what can break up rocks. We're talking about how our landscape around us is always changing. It's about erosion. What is erosion? Erosion is the process that breaks up the rocks into smaller and smaller rocks, and then finally into sand and soil. There are lots of things that can cause erosion. Does anyone remember some of the things that cause erosion? Water, wind, glaciers, gravity, humans and animals, chemicals, and roots of trees. So all of these things, wind and water, are constantly causing erosion and breaking down and wearing away rocks and making them into smaller and smaller pieces until we have soil and dirt. So how come after millions of years, the earth isn't just all flat and full of soil? How come there are still mountains? Our landscape is constantly changing. Erosion is continually wearing down rocks and mountains, but there are other forces that are changing our landscape, building it up. When volcanoes erupt, they deposit lava and create big new lava landscapes. Mountains look like they are just sitting there, but really they are growing up very, very slowly over thousands of years, but they are being pushed up from under the earth. We need to think about erosion in three parts: break, take, and make. The forces of erosion, like wind and water, are breaking rocks and making them into smaller and smaller pieces. This is called weathering. Then those same forces of erosion, wind and water, can actually take those smaller pieces of rocks and move them to another place, like a big river flowing, sometimes carry huge boulders downstream. Then that river deposits those rocks somewhere and makes a big pile of them, making a pile of rocks somewhere else, or making a rock deposit. So erosion can break the rock, take the rock somewhere else, and make a big pile of rocks. And so our landscape is not going to just become one flat, sandy place, but always be places of mountains and variety. Different kinds of landscapes. So we're going to learn all about ELF and erosion and earth and sky in our unit Earth and Sky. We're going to start with our puppet show. Da-da-da, dun-dun-dun. Here's our puppets. We have Ricky Rock and Tiny Ricky Rock. Da-da-da. Sorry, am I moving too fast?
No.
And we have Billy Boulder and Tiny Billy Boulder. And we have a rushing river. And there will also be someone to make the sound of wind and a spray bottle. This is a very popular puppet show. So what this puppet show is going to encompass is the types of erosion. We're going to cover gravity and kind of glaciers scraping and the freezing expansion and contraction of ice to make erosion. We're also going to talk about water. And you're going to spray the kids when it rains, and so someone will want to definitely do that. And if you have the kids do the puppet show, make sure an adult does the spraying. And last we have wind. So our puppet show basically covers those types of erosion. So that's pretty simple and straightforward. We also have a couple books here that we're going to take some handouts for other centers and laminate them because they're really great information, both of these books. So if you don't have time to actually use them for the intro or conclusion, you can certainly send those with the teacher out in the hallway. We're hoping to have together a slideshow by the time of ELF that you could use for intro and conclusion. If it's in there, it'll be two different scripts. One's for grades K through 2 and one's for grades 3 through 6. So those will be in the ELF bin as well. Let me see if we have some information for conclusion at this time. I'm not sure that we do because I didn't even pre-read that, but I will cover it quickly. As always, for conclusion, we're really short on time, so you can think of a snack, and we'll have snack ideas on the Mitchell PTA website. You could also use the slideshow if we get that put together in time. You can have that for a conclusion. You could read one of the books, and you could have some kind of cookie or brownie covered loosely with powdered or granulated sugar, which the kids could use a straw to blow off of and do wind erosion and then have it all crumbly and eroding before they eat it. So those are kind of our ideas for now. But again, look for snack ideas on the PTA website. Let's see here. Remember that your ELF session should run about 15 minutes to set up, 15 minutes for the introduction, 15 minutes for each center, and then 15 minutes to clean up and conclusion. Please make sure you're cleaning up properly. We've had these bins come back in such disarray we can barely figure out how to store it away for the next year. And it's really hard for parents that come in to teach ELF when they can't find their materials. Also, please let us know if we're low on supplies for any of these centers. And if you have any questions, please email us at mitchellelf@gmail.com. Thank you.